Just number 3, Colombia. Just number 4, Turkey. Just number 5, Ecuador.
We have a bout here at middleweight. In the red corner, Magomed MADIEV of Russia. Fairly comfortable win so far, getting past Polonikis Kalamaris of Greece, 12-8 in the last round. There's Sandeep of India. He got past Aziz John Mamatov of Uzbekistan, 18-7 in his previous encounter. Oh, they've been pretty comfortable wins so far. Middleweight contested at 75 kilograms. Sandeep almost wasn't quite ready as the bell went there. You can see he is the taller man of the two. Quick start. Nice left hand from Madiev. Brought a gasp of appreciation from the crowd as it thudded into the left-hand side of that head guard. The shorter man very much looking to get in and out, throw the punch and then get out of range, because the reach advantage here is very much with Sandeep. If he can try and get that jab working. Throws a wild right hand. Quick left hook as well from Madiev. Didn't find its target. He wasn't in range, but it was well thrown. And that was another good left hand from Madiev. He does really execute that punch nicely. He's trying to draw that right hand lead from Sandeep, and then when he slips underneath it, just throw that left. And he really gives it everything he's got as well. Twists from the hip and gets plenty behind it. I think there might be a bit of blood from the nose, actually, for Sandeep, and there is. And I would wager that that is the result of one of those left hooks from Madiev. He really does climb into them, right from his boots up through his hips. And it is a clash of styles, this. Sandeep, as I've alluded to, the much taller man. Madiev, more squat, stocky kind of fighter. And again, he immediately looks for that left hand, and I think he knows that that is his weapon. And it is, or at least it looks like it could be, a fairly savage one. And Madiev, I think, feels that he might be able to stop this sooner rather than later. He's got the taste for it. And Sandeep can't really make that reach advantage tell. He's not really established that jab. He can't keep Madiev off him. And again, the blood is still coming. Referees have to pay every attention, of course, to the fighter's well-being. With the blood coming from the nose, doesn't necessarily mean that it's broken from Sandeep, but it does make the breathing difficult. Short right hand that time from Madiev. Blood can always trickle into the back of the throat, and the fighter ends up having to swallow it, which Can cause an upset stomach as well, so it is a problem. At the end of the first round, though, it's drawn. It's scored 4 apiece. Sandeep given an 8 by one of the judges there. Madiev staying on his feet. He certainly threw the more eye-catching punches, but tied up at the end of the first 3 minutes. Looks very, very fresh. Well, a good example there of Sandeep managing to throw a couple of punches himself and then stay away. He does tend to slap a little bit with that right hand, and of course any scoring shot has got to be landed with the knuckle part of the glove. So 4-4. Just making sure that the retractable stool was taken away from the blue corner. I think the scoring of that first round will have really encouraged the Indian fighter. He did catch a couple of good, clean, strong left hands. And it may just have made Madiev think a little bit as well. Throws a jab there, Madiev, really for the first time. He really does set his feet for that left hand. And more blood coming from the nose. And you can see him just trying to suck that blood up, which he really has no choice but to do. Blood still coming though. No sooner does the referee wipe it away than it starts to trickle down that nose again. Left hand would have scored there, I'd say, from Madiev. It wasn't the strongest you'll see, certainly not the strongest we've seen from him. The referee just warning him about punching with the open hand, but that was a nice punch right through the guard. A shorter left hand that time. And he does really just let it go as a matter of course, which is exactly what you should do. It becomes almost a reflex. Being forced to cover up there though as Sandeep puts together a combination of his own. I don't think any of those would have scored. And that was a nice uppercut there from Sandeep. Really planted his feet and threw the punch in towards the body as well. Quite an unusual shot, that. And a shot that Lucien Butte throws a lot, used to throw a lot. Keeping it at range here, Sandeep, more effectively than he did in the first round. He seems to be growing in confidence a bit. And again, they're just going to wipe away that blood. The referee has a good look at it. Safety is paramount, of course. He may have walked onto a left hand there as he tried to get his own right hand lead away, Sandeep. But he's just taking a step back when he lets a punch go. In the first round, he was maybe a little bit guilty of throwing punches and then staying where he was. He needed to stay on the move. And again, as we reach the end of the second, it'll be very interesting to see how they've scored this. And the Russian has opened up a lead. He gets that one 5-2. It's the 5, the 6 and the 5 there that will have been selected for the Russian. Never mind those 2 2s. So that gives him a 3-point advantage. He didn't land as cleanly in the second round as he did in the first. But he still looks very, very fresh, Madiev. Sandeep, a more languid kind of fighter. Longer limbs, longer levers. He's really stalking his opponent here. He's come out to fight in this third round and he's throwing wild punches here. And again, he's just given a little warning there, Madiev, for making contact with the inside of the glove. But he was so open there, Sandeep. He's just been wading forward, throwing anything he could think of. He's tightened it up a little bit now and really had to, because if he continued like that, he was tailor-made for a Madiev left hand, and one just sneaked through the guard again there. Drew, and good response from the crowd. Well, Sandeep's doing the right thing. I mean, he does have to go for this here. He's 3 points behind, and he'll know that. But it's difficult to see this working. Again, a right hand, caught with the guard low. He was backpedaling, but he did make contact. Again, another solid shot. Just trying to wind up with that right hand now. But the problem he's got is that it's thrown from such distance that Madiev can see it coming and just drop his elbows onto it. Jab was nice and crisp there from Sandeep. Madiev looks very, very fit. He's only got a minute left in the contest. And really all he needs to do is stay away. It remains to be seen as to whether he'll actually do that. Fighters generally don't when they should. Again, just getting rid of that blood, and his mouth's hanging open there, just pushing the gum shield out, sucking in the air. He's very, very tired in there, Sandeep. The blood could have been a problem, as I mentioned, for the breathing. It may mean that you've got to try and get some air in through your mouth, which is not ideal by any stretch. He's the younger man, Sandeep, as well. 17 to Madiev's 18. Into the last 10 seconds. And I feel fairly confident that it's going to be the red corner that comes out on top here. 3-point lead going into the final round, and I think he'll have stretched that as well. Magomed MADIEV. It will be a surprise, to say the least, if he is not going through to the middleweight final. Well, he did stretch the lead, 6-3 in the final round, so he goes on to win the contest 15-9, Magomed MADIEV, and it was a good display. Brave stuff from Sandeep. He never stopped rather coming forward, despite the damage to his nose that he sustained as early as the first round. But the Russian is compact. He's got some power as well. Quite short for a middleweight. Just walking past in front of me now, and he's obviously got himself into very, very good condition. He will generally be up against fighters taller than him in that weight category, and he's obviously very used to it.